Hey there, fellow history enthusiasts. Welcome back to War Stories by the Campfire. I'm so glad you could join us today. Why don't you grab your favorite warm beverage, pull those cozy blankets up close, and let's journey back in time together. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're all tuning in from. Drop a comment below and let's connect. Tonight, we're going to explore one of the most incredible stories from World War II, the miraculous evacuation of Dunkirk. So settle in and let me take you back to those fateful days in May and June of 1940. Picture this. It's late spring in northern France. The air is thick with tension as Allied forces find themselves in a desperate situation. The German army has pushed through Belgium and France with shocking speed, leaving over 300,000 British and French troops trapped on the beaches of Dunkirk. With their backs to the sea and the enemy closing in, it seemed like all hope was lost. But sometimes, in the darkest moments, the most extraordinary acts of courage and determination shine through. And that's exactly what happened at Dunkirk. As the situation grew dire, the British government launched Operation Dynamo, a daring plan to evacuate as many troops as possible across the English Channel. Now, you might think they'd use massive military ships for such a task, right? Well, they did, but here's where the story takes an amazing turn. You see, the shallow waters off Dunkirk's beaches meant that large naval vessels couldn't get close enough to pick up the stranded soldiers. So, in a move that would become legendary, the British called upon civilian boats to help. Fishing boats, pleasure crafts, and even tiny private yachts answered the call. It was truly a case of ordinary people stepping up to do something extraordinary. Can you imagine it? These everyday folks, many with no military experience whatsoever, braving the dangerous waters of the English Channel under threat of German air attacks. It's the kind of bravery that takes your breath away. One of these civilian heroes was Charles Lightoller. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it's because Lightoller was the highest-ranking officer to survive the Titanic disaster. At 66 years old, he could have easily stayed home. But when the call came, he took his personal yacht, the Sundowner, and set sail for Dunkirk. Lightoller, along with his son and a teenage Sea Scout, managed to rescue an incredible 130 men. His story is just one of countless tales of heroism from those harrowing days. But it wasn't just the civilian boats that made the difference. Royal Air Force pilots fought tirelessly in the skies above, trying to keep the German Luftwaffe at bay. Many of these young men sacrificed their lives to give the evacuation a fighting chance. On the beaches themselves, the scene was one of chaos and desperation. Soldiers stood in long lines stretching into the water, waiting for their turn to be rescued. The constant threat of enemy fire meant that nerves were frayed, and every moment felt like it could be their last. Yet, amidst this turmoil, there were moments of incredible humanity. British and French troops worked together, helping each other onto boats. Officers insisted that the ordinary soldiers be evacuated first, often staying behind themselves to face capture or worse. One particularly moving story comes from a British soldier named Alf Toombs. As he waited on the beach, a French soldier approached him, handed over his water bottle, and simply said, "Good luck, Tommy." It's these small acts of kindness in the face of overwhelming odds that really bring home the human side of this massive operation. The evacuation continued day and night for 9 days. Every hour was crucial as the German forces drew ever closer to Dunkirk. The soldiers on the beach could see the smoke rising from the town, hear the sounds of battle drawing nearer. Yet still they waited, clinging to hope. And their hope was not in vain. Against all odds, Operation Dynamo succeeded beyond anyone's wildest expectations. By the time it ended on June 4th, over 338,000 Allied troops had been rescued from the beaches of Dunkirk. It was a logistical miracle, a testament to the indomitable spirit of both the military and civilians who made it happen. But let's be clear, Dunkirk was not a victory in the traditional sense. The Allies had suffered a major defeat, and the evacuation was born out of necessity. Yet, in the act of saving so many lives, in the sheer determination to snatch hope from the jaws of defeat, something remarkable happened. Dunkirk became a symbol of resilience, of the power of ordinary people coming together in extraordinary circumstances. Winston Churchill, in his famous "We shall fight on the beaches" speech, captured this sentiment perfectly. While acknowledging the gravity of the situation, he praised the miracle of deliverance achieved at Dunkirk. It was a turning point, not just in the war, but in the spirit of the British people. The impact of Dunkirk rippled far beyond those 9 days in 1940. It became a rallying cry, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always hope. The Dunkirk spirit entered the lexicon, symbolizing courage, unity, and perseverance in the face of overwhelming odds. As we wrap up our story tonight, I want you to think about the lessons we can take from Dunkirk. It's a reminder that heroism often comes in unexpected forms, whether it's a civilian risking their life to save strangers, or a soldier sharing their last drop of water with a comrade. It shows us the power of community, of coming together when it matters most. And perhaps most importantly, Dunkirk teaches us about resilience. It's a testament to the human spirit's ability to find hope and courage even in the bleakest of circumstances. In our own lives, when we face challenges that seem insurmountable, we can draw inspiration from those brave souls on the beaches of Dunkirk. Before we say goodnight, I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey back in time. These stories are so important to remember and share, and it's an honor to be able to do that with you. If you enjoyed tonight's story, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel. It's completely free, and it helps us continue bringing these incredible war stories to life for you. And don't forget to leave a comment telling me where you're from and what you thought of the Dunkirk story. I love hearing from you all and learning about the diverse places our little campfire community comes from. Until next time, keep that flame of curiosity burning bright. And remember, history isn't just about dates and facts. It's about the human stories that shape our world. Good night, and see you around the campfire soon.